circuit board. Already decided. Alright, how to model this. So I'll show you guys how I go by it, like how's the whole planning and the procedure for modeling something like this. So let's start. Also, I'll show you how my blender looks like. It's a very different way of, like, my way of working, and my pipeline is very different. So my blender is you can see 3.0. It's a very old version, but it's still relevant to this point. I don't think I'm missing on much because I don't use much of the tools. So my main go-to way of working is modeling on the base and then working on it, texturing and animating. What's the main thing here is my Blender UI is not relevant to everyone because I'm using Maya configuration, which is very different from Blender. I'm not saying that Blender's UI is bad or anything, but I just have learned Maya in my whole learning timeline, and then I didn't never switch to like the UI of any other software. Like, it's very different and not relevant for me to learn, like not worth it. So I just used it, like the Maya config. I think it's like very useful and like very fast. There is this what is this called? I don't really remember. Maya config for Blender, which you can download, and it works very well with older versions of Blender. So you can use the UI very easily. So to start with the modeling, I'm going to use this images pane. I'm going to import that image. I'm gonna straighten it. Okay. So yeah. So you guys can see the images in the report. It looks like this, which is pretty much all we need for this tutorial. We could say tutorial or blog or dev, what you could say, design blog, you could say. I don't know. So I'm gonna leave both of them. Yeah. So for this, it's a very basic shape, and I wanted to be a little, you know, I saw some post where chromatics and everything, like I'm very to that art style nowadays. Uh, Shout out to Intranet. She uploads some crazy tutorials. I like the aesthetics of it. So yeah, so I'll go along with it. It's going to be a short tutorial, but it's going to be on point. Like, I'll just talk about the procedure. So yeah, so I have imported the image, and now you just have to import a plane. We go with plane, like a plane works very well in most of the situations here. It's very predominant that it's gonna work well with this. So yeah, so for this I'm gonna eyeball it to some extent. Like, yeah, it's fine. So I'm gonna extrude it. I'm gonna, yeah, so I'm gonna add a loop cut here. It's control for Blender, and yeah, so add a loop cut. Yeah, and we can end up just extrude this like this, and then yeah, okay, and then gonna, yeah, I'm gonna extrude this, then I'm gonna yeah, so this is what I have came with. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna I think I have something called X-ray which can work here so that I can see perfect. So I don't know. It's fine. So yeah, so I'm gonna yeah. So I'm gonna just adjust it a little bit. Yeah, that works for me, I guess. Yeah, that works for me. So the I'm not gonna use this part. I'm just gonna delete it. Yeah, I'm just gonna be making the A thing, whatever this is supposed to be. I just got this image from internet. Yeah, so see, this is the shape we are going with. I'm going to project the texture on this. So the way to go do it is make another window. I'm gonna go in the UV editor and yeah, so I'm just gonna project it from the view like this. Make sure you're in the top view so that you know how it's flat and the texture is like well, you don't have to do much thing. And then I'm gonna apply the same image. I'm gonna make a new material, and for that I'm gonna do one thing is add another window. Sorry, yeah, and I'm gonna add that same image onto this. Where's that image? Oh yeah, here's the image. So you need to adjust it because Blender doesn't know. It's just the software, and whatever we are doing, it's not. Yeah, so just adjust it so it's like aligned properly. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, for me, I don't mind this. Yeah, this works. I don't need this. Yeah, no, tried it. So we have this shape, or you could say image alpha. You could do the same thing with an alpha. You could generate an alpha for this and then just remove that part will be transient. But the point is I'm gonna make it in a way like has some depth and it's going to be different. So let me try adding a solidify modifier. Yeah, so I'm gonna add a 0.2 meter. Yeah, something like this should work for this. I'm going to add some shapes, so we can go with the cube. Yeah, so the back part of this image doesn't really have to be according to anything, like it's just, you're not gonna use this part because it's going to be a plain color. So I'm gonna change the UV for that. We'll have to apply the solidify for this. So yeah, going to use so you need to change your modes for selecting not the yeah. So I'm gonna just place the UV in a way that just fakes it. Yeah. Also for the sides, do the same. Uh, so the sides don't have a UV yet, I guess. So yeah, it has a UV. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So this is the thing. Yeah. Here's the cube. Here's the cube. Nice. Okay. What is it called? Gray box thingy, whatever. I don't know. Actually, you should name your objects. I have seen like when you model something and you have a very raw have a very different approach for things like when you name your objects you might make changes according to the needs. Like you can be very fast with the changes. If you want to change something later on, you would know that yeah, this is to it's easy for the it makes the process easier. So yeah, this is the memory thing. I'll duplicate it once more, extrude, rotate it. It's just simple modeling, it's nothing complex, it's a basic thing. Just make a cube, adjust it. Yeah. So yeah, this this is the thing. So you will have to bevel it because bevel just looks nice with this kind of thing. Like most things in the real world are not hard edges. Like nothing in this world is like absolute hard edge like this flat texturing you see here. I don't know why, but I just don't. I have never liked like this kind of. It looks very. Somebody can make this in like Illustrator. I don't know what to call this, but this is not. So I have this add-on called Copy Attributes, and I recommend you to enable it because it's like a very big time saver for me. So you just do select two objects, select the one you want to copy into the from one to like select the one that has the thing to copy you want to copy the things to, and then copy modifiers, and you have oh I did the opposite. Well, yeah, so both of them have bevel now. Okay, now uh, I'm going to okay. So see, the point is you don't really need to make all the details inside the mesh. I'm going to use a bump map to show most of the transistors and everything. So for this I'm gonna make a black and okay, it's going to be yeah. Yeah, so yes, this looks good. So yeah, I don't want to model this part because this has to have a lot of details and we don't really need to show any of this. Yeah, it could be as simple as just me putting a what you could say. I don't need this closer. Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna show you the shading thing now. So for the shading in this, you'll have to add another image. I'm just gonna shift this. Open another. So I made this image in that Photoshop. For this, I used a simple method called levels. If you know, you just have to desaturate an image and then use a levels modifier to make this image. See, it's looking like this. So what I essentially did in this, I just highlighted all the parts that need to be extruded, or you could say have depth, because in 3D softwares mostly the white values are the values that are handled with 1 and black values are handled with 0. So you guys will have a good way of using it. This map could be used for a metal or alpha channel as well. Like this can work for any place where a black and white map would work. So this is one of a way to texture or make maps. So yeah, and also what I did right now is I just have Node Wrangler add on this. I don't know, like most Blender users, they know about this add-on already, because this is something which every tutorial on the internet emphasizes to like turn on the first part. So same with me, just turn on this. It's just a save of time. Like you just have to press Ctrl Shift D and you can add on texture. You can press Ctrl Shift left click and you can view any node. Like it's so good and simple. So yeah, for this map we're gonna use it for the depth. So what I'll do is I'll have a normal map node and I have a bump node in this. Okay, how it works is, for what I noticed and like my way of working is very, I don't know it's right or wrong. I just keep on like making things like I don't innovate on this much because I don't want to, or I don't need to, because it just works sometimes. It does, like it's just trial and error thing, you could say. Like I might end up with good or bad, or but like with subtle amount of changes I sometimes get the thing I want to, like my final output is somewhat near the thing, so I just really don't mind it. So what this is normal. So the point is we don't have an actual normal map. This is an displacement map. If you want to like display something, you need something like this, black and white file. Normals are different. Normals have normals. You could say you have seen that purple image. So yeah, normal map is a normal map, and this is not a normal map, so we're gonna use it for the bump values. So I'm gonna use it for the normal. So we're gonna see what's how it's working. Okay, so see, that's what I'm talking about. So this is not doing shit in our case because this is not a normal map. This image is not a normal map. So what I need to do is I'll just put it in the height, and I'm gonna use this and see. Ta-da! Oh shit, it's still not working. So I'll just, yeah, you don't need this for, you just have to add a bump node and then you just add a bump node and just add the image in the height value. Height, what do you call it? The height, you could say the height value, no, yeah, height value, you could say. Just add the color in the height and the bump into the normal, and you'll have a normal depth, or you could say engraved look. So if you use, yeah, see how it's affecting. Yes, this is fine. So yes, I'm going to, so I have an idea for this and I'm gonna show you. I actually don't want to show you how, because you just see, the thing with this is you could just go like add a cylinder, then array the cylinder like this, then cylinder like this, then add a, these are very simple shapes, and you could like really like make like this in 3D, like you can add all these as details like an object. This doesn't have, like this will look a lot better, but see, the point is here, you really don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's simple as that. If you want to make simple things like this, you can make simple things like this. People will, and like, it doesn't really matter, like whatever you make in 3D, it's just the art style you're opting for. Like, so I'm gonna select the edges, I'm just gonna bevel it, or you could just bevel it. No, you don't, you just, I'm going to select the faces. No. Oh shit. I'm gonna select the faces. I'm gonna select loops, boundary loops. Same with this. Select loops, boundary loops, bevel, a tiny bevel with two segments of bevel. Yes. Send the point. Select loops, boundary loop, bevel. A tiny bevel would work for this here. So yes. Now I'm going to show you how I like to go with this kind of, like what I was thinking to make in the first place. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm gonna name this glass. You'll see why I see. So I'm gonna make this a little bigger than this. Actually, this is a lot bigger. I just want a little, yeah. It should be subtle, like, yeah. I'm going to remove this material. I'm gonna add a new material. I'm gonna name this glass. We're gonna make a glass material for this. So for the glass material, just choose glass, rendered. It's looking like this. Actually, I'm gonna make this so that This glass covers the transistors itself, the top part as well. So I'm gonna just, yeah. This is glass material for now, it will work. Around that, I'm gonna put this recycles GPU 100 samples. This is my settings. So you might want to use this, you might don't want to use this. This depends on your system, how your system handles 3D. So yeah. So for the glass material, something as simple as this can also work. So what I'm going to show you is, so for the environment I'm going to add a gradient texture. I'm gonna add a diagonal, yeah. I'm gonna hide it from camera, and I'm gonna change this shader now. So for this you could do, one thing is 0.1, 0.2, yeah. So this is fine. You just need a, yeah, you just need a solidify modifier now. Just add a solidify modifier, and that will add some depth to your glass. So 0.1, yes. No, I'm not gonna bevel this. I was just trying to see how it works. Oh, this also not. Just, yeah. So just add a solidify modifier to the glass and just experiment with the values. Yeah. 0.15, 0.1. I think 0.1 looks the best. Yeah. 0.1. For the glass, I think I want to try something. So I'm gonna duplicate. So I'm gonna make 3 glass materials, and I'm gonna make 3 RGB channels from this. Like I'm gonna change the color of each and every one. So I'm gonna disable green. Shout out to Intranet because I like this kind of art style, and I've seen a lot of her tutorials, and she has taught me a lot of this. So with Blender, this is the thing I like the most. Like you get to learn new things. You just have to use YouTube for learning. Like you don't have to go to any place. Like it's all free and it's very easy to access. Like you don't even have to like be hardcore into it. You just have to be an hobbyist, and you will be fine with it, I guess. Yeah, what I'm doing, yeah. So how it works is you have to change the IOR for this. So 1.4 for this and 1.5 for this. Yes. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get? So how it works is you have 3 different values and 3 different ways for refraction, yeah, IOR, index of reflection, I don't know what's called, just Google it. Yeah, so that is going to affect from the way you're looking onto the glass, and it's going to change the way it looks according to that. Now I just want to render this, so I'm just gonna add a cube. I'm just gonna add a camera to view camera line. I'm just gonna make it square, 1080 by 1080. I just want a fisheye kind of look. So for a fisheye kind of look, you just have to like do something like 360. Why is this not working? What's wrong with this? So this should work. I don't know why it's not working. Also the camera is still there, but the camera is still not there. What's up with this? I don't know, man. What's wrong with Blender? Active camera. Add a camera, I guess. So I'm gonna do, yeah, there's a camera. I'm just gonna make this as my active camera, then active camera. Is this working now? It's kind of working. So camera set active object as camera. Okay. Cam to view. Yes. Okay, so for the fisheye effect, you just need this fisheye. How I used to do it? Yeah. In the panoramic, this, change it to 22. Yeah. For this, you just have to do one thing, that is add. For the background, I'm just gonna make it a little bigger. Like this, and this should work for me. Also, I don't want this plane to emit any kind of rays or anything, like affect the glass or anything on my scene. So if I disable the diffuse, see how it's removing the. Actually, I like this. I just don't like the transmission. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Now I'm just going to show you a trick for if you want to make something like this. So what I'm gonna essentially do is I'm gonna make a plane and then make it a light and then use it for faking this. I'm just gonna subdivide this 3 times. I'm just gonna add a new shader, emission 5 maybe would work. I'm gonna stretch it. I'm gonna narrow it down. I'm gonna give it a little angle. I'm gonna give it a little of rotate, a bit of spacing. Yeah, also just disable the camera and the camera rays for both of the lights. Yeah, so I think this is enough for this tutorial. So what I essentially wanted to show here is just gonna render this for you guys. You can see I'm just gonna render it on 1000 samples. Yeah, something like this. I'm gonna make the film transparent. I'm gonna render this. Actually, you don't really need the diffuse, so I'm gonna remove the diffuse from here. So yeah, just find your plane, your background. Just gonna make a new window. I'm just gonna make a new window and then I'm just gonna change the values for that. So how it's gonna work is you just really don't need the diffuse for this because it's going to affect your glass in a way you don't really want. So it's just you really have to find what's costing the render. You have to see what's affecting what. You have to keep on making changes because this is not something which is pre-planned. Everything you do is like on you, how you make changes throughout the. Oh no, it's just you're just really not gonna. For the plane, just move a little bit further, I guess. Yes. I think something like this. Yeah, I like this bluish kind of. But yeah, so you're gonna have something like this by the end of this. If you want to add something like this inside, you want to design a product or you want to design something that has a little bit of transparency, the glass thing, and you want to design a circuit. You don't really have to design a circuit, you just can do something like this. You can have an image, you can do simple modeling. Not even modeling, this is not even modeling, bro. This is not something very hard. A beginner can do this. You just have to learn a little bit of shaders and you can have something like this. This is not something like, it's not the final thing. You can like legit animate this. You can try to find different angles. See how it's affecting the getting affected by the lights. So yeah, that's all. I think you guys can comment if you guys want me to show like different way of using this or like anything, because I'm very much interested in this kind of art style nowadays and I want to learn on this. So if I learn something more about it, like if I learn something new about shading or anything, I'm gonna add to this tutorial. I'm gonna make it like in another part or something. But this is all for today's tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure if you like the video, you like the